What's up? How you doing? Here we are, another beautiful day. Beautiful day today. Perfect temperature, perfect humidity, high pressure system. We have I want to say west to south breeze at about less than a mile an hour, like maybe 7.63 miles per hour. Very, very light. I don't even feel it yet. That's how slow it is. So I have here one of my favorite beverages, Blood Orange, 100% product of Italy. This is shipped all the way from Italy using Italian blood oranges. Look at that. So it says shake well. And I have a glass full of ice because I like my beverages cold. If you're one of those wimpy people that have convinced themselves that you get a sore throat because you drink cold beverages, this is not for you. This is not for you. What you need is pampering. You need a nice, soft, thick blanket made out of cotton, nice, soft pillow made out of cotton. And you need to protect yourself from the world because things that really don't affect you, you think affect you. Anyway, I want to have some of this Blood Orange. Brand new. Look at that. That's delicious. I could drink this all day. It's so good. Cheers. That flavor is amazing. That's amazing. My kids love this stuff. I think when I go into the grocery store, I think probably it's just me. There may be a couple other people that buy this, but I think I'm a big buyer of that. If I stop buying it, they're going to have to cancel the order from Italy. They're going to say, we're not selling that much anymore. Anyway, I got my GQ box. I wait for this like you can't believe. I love opening. It's like a Christmas gift. Literally. Oh man, that is so good. Refreshing. Oh, we open it up. Have a little table here, but I will lift up my stuff to show you. They call this unboxing terminology. All right. It's the summer 2025 box. All right. Some things we will not show on the air because they contain codes and for obvious reasons. So it's wrapped in nice little brown sheet of paper. There was a thing there too. Yeah, there's always codes being exposed. So on this one, get $120 off all American beef and seafood delivered right to your door. Good shop. Yeah, I may use that. That looks pretty good. And then here we have some coffee concentrates crafted by a G grader, a Q grader, coffee roasted and brewed by hand from quality grade beans of rare quality. I may try that. I've never heard of this product. That's why I like getting stuff from them. They give you things you've never heard of before, and it's good quality stuff. Put that there. We have some universal charging cables right there. I could use that. Always losing cables. Somewhere in the house there's a pile of 50 cables just sitting there hiding from me. Every so often you lose one and you never find them again. There are certain things that disappear, and no matter how much time goes by, you never locate them. Never. Here we have so this is the print edition of GQ. Got a little coupon there. I'm gonna get these out of the way first because they have codes on them. $130 off. Meals ready to eat. So ready to eat meal delivery service. $130 off. If I'm hungry someday, I will use it. All right. Next item. I don't know what this is. Ole Henriksen, or Ole Henriksen. Dark spot toner. I don't know what that is. Is that when people get dark spots, this will fade them? I have no idea. Dark spot toner. Well, it's sealed. I'm not going to open it, but I guess that's what it is. If you have dark spots, it'll fade them out. Or you can sand them off with light sandpaper. Somebody's yelling. I may go and investigate. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I investigated it, and it's not a big deal. It's a bunch of young people jogging, and they have some kind of cadence going there. So, you know, singing and jogging. Best shave of your life. Next product. See that? Single edged razor, Max razor. Skin for a shave. I'm not, you know, I'm not really aware. I haven't used single edge in long time. Long time. I think last time I used single blade was end of World War II. I used a 5-track, and I don't know, maybe this is better. Got some weight to that. Wow, good weight. And it has a stand, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I guess when you put it down, you put it down like that, so it doesn't touch the surface and dull the blade. Well, the blade feels sharp. I will try it. Feels like a good product though. It's got, you know, weight to it. Like a lot of things these days, they're light, like refrigerators. So I will try that. I will shave with it. So far in my life, I've not had the best experiences with single blades. I find like they nick you a lot, and you, I don't know, yeah, 5, they have a smoother cut because you got 5 blades coming down at once. So, but I'll give it a chance. Next product, Whole Body deodorant. Suitable for pits, privates, to feet. Aluminum free, shea butter, cedar with vitamin E. Deodorant spray. Not bad. Very fresh. That smells like, I remember when I was a kid and I would go to the gym and you had all, the older people taking a shower there. They would come out, take a shower, dress up, leave, but they would do the whole thing. They would take a shower, everything was in slow motion. They would shave, lather up, shave slowly, then they would put some kind of soap, with sand inside, scrub up, rinse. Everything was slow. By the time they left that place, they were locking up. So that's what it smells like. It smells like a fresh gym room. Last but not least, something that I have tons of, but I always look for more of. It's like a water bottle. Feels heavy, nice. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Swell. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good quality. Yeah, they never put flimsy stuff in here. You think, it's gonna be, flimsy stuff. That's what you think, but it's not. It's good quality. I mean, this is good. This is as good as any of the good ones I have. Yeah, I like that. Good top. I should get used to bringing these when I go hiking. And that's it. That's my unboxing event. The delicious flavor of red orange. So delicious. I don't know. It's one of those fruits that I could keep eating all day. Very satisfying. So, yeah. Last 2 years ago, I forgot my blades. I went on vacation, forgot my blades, my Gillette blades, the ones I'm used to having. The five track, 5 blade. And we went on vacation, and the whiskers started to come in. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna shave. And I couldn't find a place that had those blades. So, as I was walking by the front of the hotel, really nice hotel, everything beautiful inside, and I said, my bride says, why don't you ask them, they may have blades. So I don't generally like to do that, go up there and, like a freebie, but I went up there and I said, you got any blades for shaving? And she's like, oh sure. She was all smiley, the lady, very big smile, big teeth inside. And she brings me a blade and hands it to me. Immediately, just by the weight, I knew that this was going to be cheap and not of good quality. So I opened it up and it was one of those big single blade things, and I go, yeah, this is not going to be. So I went upstairs, took a shower, all of that, put on the shaving cream, and I started to, and I literally felt like she gave me a dull blade. That's cheap. And you want to tell them, you guys charge top dollar per room. Why can't you buy some good blades? Just get some good blades. How many people are going to ask for them? Is it going to bankrupt the hotel? You know, if I had a place like that, I would have like Gillette, the best Gillette, top of the line Fusion, and I'd give them a couple. I'd say, you know, just take it. Next time, don't forget your own stuff. I see a sparrow watching me up there. Yeah. You know what I think about sometimes? I think about taking a nice midnight cruise on a nice ship. Not a nice ship, not really a nice ship. I want it to be like a ferry boat. You know, just has a few things on it. You know, maybe it has a few sandwiches in there and a fridge and a couple of beverages. Maybe they have, you know, nice blood orange, you know, something like that. And I want to get on it midnight, on a nice quiet midnight evening or night, midnight night. Too many nights in there. And I want to go to Catalina Island on the Pacific Ocean with very few lights on the ship. Very, you know, I want to go on a ship, a little ferry boat actually, with dim lights and just enjoy it. And then I want to go on the island remotely. You know, when I was a kid, we went on an island. There was a baptism taking place, and we were all invited to this. So we went there, and we went by boat, nighttime. Maybe that's where I get the urge. We went by boat. It was nighttime, and when we got off there, everything was like quiet. Everybody was doing that, so we were all quiet. And to get to the hotel, you had to cross through a forest, which was probably about 300 feet, something like that, maybe more, you know, maybe 500 feet. It was quite a walk through a forest, and in the middle of the forest was this beautiful hotel. And you notice, you know, adults start to act like children when they're around their own, you know, old friends from the younger days. So I'm there, my father, you know, my mother and all that, and I'm crossing alone by myself. I can see the hotel, but I can hear my father doing Tarzan sounds, and he was maybe, you know, a couple hundred feet ahead of me, but I could tell the voice, you know, I could isolate the voice, and I knew it was him. Plus, I've heard him make that sound other times, like, and he, you know, would make that Tarzan sound, and I go, look at him, he's like a kid. Like a kid, you know. You don't think of your parents acting like kids, but they, you know, at one point they were, and some of them, you know, when they find the right environment, continue it. But I remember that, and I had to do that walk twice. So I was 6 years old back then. Man, I'm telling you, unless you're tasting this, you don't know how good it is. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go on a late boat ride. We went to Alaska last year. Beautiful. You know, I like the creepiness of the boat ride as well. So when we were up in Alaska, I would get up middle of the night, and I would go out. We had this little like balcony thing, and I'd go out and I'd look out into the darkness, and you'd make out kind of like features, creepy looking mountains out there. Big mountains, you know, like towering over you. And I would pull up, I have a really strong flashlight. It could blind you if you go this way, so you got to go that way. And I would aim it to the land across, and I could see these big, massive mountains that we would go by on the ship. Very creepy at night. I had a dream when I was a kid that I fell into the ocean, and in still water. The water was nice and still. And as I turned my head, I go, oh man, I fell into the water. First of all, it was really deep, thousands of feet below me before you would touch the bottom. And as I looked next to me, there was a massive oil tanker right next to me. And in a dream, when you see that, it gives you the creeps. Gives you the creeps. Big, you know, maybe almost 1,000 foot long, massive steel, and I could in my head imagine, like right next to me, how much of it was under the water, you know, the water surface. And that made you feel even weirder, because now you have this big thing, propeller in the back. But it was a nice still water, calm night, and here I am floating next to it. Yeah, I have these unusual dreams once in a while, you know. That's because I'm dreaming my fantasies. I want to go on a thing like that. Years ago I came up with an idea because I'm a big fan of going to an uninhabited island by myself. That's the whole point. Spent a week there, and in my dream I'm floating in the ocean. I think I'm holding on something. Maybe it's a inflatable, you know, raft or something. But I'm holding it like that. I'm kind of drifting in the darkness in the ocean, and then all of a sudden, I can feel my body pull into the shore. You know, I feel the sand beneath me, and I look and I go, I made it. Awesome! I'm not in the ocean floating anymore. So I get out. I get up, and I look, and it's a really, really tall, pointy island sticking out of the ocean, just like that. And within like a minute or so, there's no more sand. Used to have sand, now there's no more sand. The water's coming in, so I have to start climbing, and I'm going around. It's almost like climbing the, you know, when you're at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. It's like that. I'm climbing up, and the water's following me slowly. Although I'm ahead of it though. It's about 10 feet below me, but I see it coming. And all of a sudden I look, and I'm all the way to the top. Now the island looks like an island, you know, it's just a little peak. And as I go up, the water stops, just reaches up to that level, high tide, right? And I look, and there's a house, and there's people, quiet party. I can hear a little chit-chatting, you know, and I'm like, oh, good. I'm starving, and maybe they can help me. Maybe they have a phone. How do I get off this island? So anyway, in the dream I make no interaction. I'm just watching them. But up where the house is, it looks like a house from the Hamptons, and it's a nice clear area with nice grass and everything. And I've actually found an island that looks like that. It's off the coast of Australia. It's called Ball Island or something. Yeah, it looks just like that in my dream. Now, I had the dream before I discovered the island, so. Yeah, that's one thing I'd like to do. Uninhabited island. 1 to 2 weeks, then I come back. But years ago, I came up with this idea. Everybody thought it was a little bit off, but I thought it was doable. So there's this app that shows you all the shipping lanes. So I was going to find one of those big cargo ships that go near uninhabited islands. Like I would find some islands and figure out which ships go by that area. And then I was going to go down to San Pedro, and I was going to talk to, you know, I was going to say, hey, you know, give you a few dollars, let me ride on this boat for a little bit. And I was going to bring an inflatable raft, a nice one, not, you know, nothing cheesy, something nice, sturdy. And I was going to have like some kind of I don't know, GPS thing on me. And at the moment that big cargo ship got near the island, like say within a couple of miles of it, I was going to throw the raft over and then jump into the ocean. And then, I don't know, maybe if I had rows or oars, I would go to the island, or I'd use my little doggy paddle thing. Now, the thing that got me thinking is on the way back, how do I time it so that they actually see me and stop? Right? What if they don't see me and I miss it, and then the next one comes by, 24 hours later? And later, what am I gonna do? Float around there like a Momo for 24 hours, or? So I said, yeah, the going is easy, but finding it to come back. And what about if I'm off by, a couple thousand yards, and they can't see me because in the ocean you look like a little, seaweed floating around. Who's gonna notice you if they're not looking for you? So I said, yeah, that's a good way to get stuck and drown. So I never did it. The best way to do it is to find somebody who has a nice yacht. Some nice yacht, and they give you a ride there, and then you trust them enough that they're going to come back and get you. I would also bring a satellite phone just in case, this person forgets you there and doesn't want to come get you. To do that, who would know, right? Who would know? That's why if you have friends that really don't like you and they have a boat and one of them says, hey, you want to go to an uninhabited island? Say, no, I don't think so, I don't want to go. Because you know what's going to happen? They're going to bring you there, they're going to make you go and explore stuff, and then they're going to run off and get on that yacht and leave you there, and you'll starve to death because nobody will find you. And then they'll be like, I don't know what happened to him. I didn't see him. I haven't seen him in months. Meantime, they saw you, a couple of days ago. Or never go on a cruise ship, right, with somebody who doesn't like you, somebody who's got it in for you, one of those people. You know what they'll do? They'll toss you overboard, and nobody will know it. Just throw you over. You'll drown because you'll get exhausted. All that lactic acid will build up, and you'll just drown. And then what will happen? They'll say, oh, he must have fallen over. They say he was leaning and he fell. Who's gonna say, well, we actually pushed him in? So those kind of things, you have to go with people that you trust. If you don't trust them, don't go, because they're gonna try and throw you overboard eventually. Very quiet out. I'd like to be looking up at the sky and see an unidentified flying object, but something that really is from some other world. I'm tired of people seeing things that are from here and they're confusing them with, oh, it's an alien ship. No, it's not. It's a plate. Yeah, but I'm impressed with this. If you see it, buy it. It's good quality, good weight. That's how you know something's good, the weight. If the weight's there, it's good. This one, single edge Max razor. It says with this you get a close shave without the irritation. We'll see if this does a good job. I will immediately reverse my position that single blades when it comes to shaving are awful, unless it's a straight blade. Man, do I enjoy those. If you go somewhere where they actually know how to use it properly, they can give you the best shave. I would go to the Art of Shaving. That's the name of the place, The Art of Shaving. And there was this female there. She was the only female there, and her name was Sunny. And I didn't have her originally. I had someone first, and then I ended up getting her. What a difference! So very nice, tender hands, very supple hands. And she was really, really good at what she did. Gave you a massage in the face area and had all these creams on the side. She would blend them in. Nice fragrances, nice warm towel around your face, you know, patting it down. I would fall asleep most of that time. I would try and fight it. You know, I'm going to stay awake. I couldn't, you know, and she was really nice. And what they would do is they would use a straight blade, and they would shave you twice. So they'd put on the, you know, the cream, and then they would, you know, do the whole face, and then they would add some other products, make you nice and slippery, like Slick 50, and then they would do the whole process all over again. This time I think they would go against the grain, and then you'd get this nice close shave, and then she would do all this massage things, you know, but it was a good experience. So time went by like it usually does, and I had long hair, and I went back there to get a haircut. And that's what they do, haircuts and shaves. So you can do one or the other, or both. I would do both. So made an appointment, but she wasn't available, and I got this dude there, barber, and as he's, you know, doing his cutting and, you know, shaving and everything, he says, "Have you ever been here before?" I said, "I have." He goes, "Oh, who'd you have?" And I said, "I had Sunny." A couple of minutes go by, and he says to me, "What would you say is the difference between her and me when I'm, you know, shaving you down and everything?" And I said, "Well, the most obvious is that she's way more gentle, way more gentle." And I said her hands are softer. And he goes, yeah, kind of like, you know, yeah, I agree with that. But she had a more gentle touch. And then then I went again, and I had another guy, and he was similar roughness as the first guy the guy that I had the first time there. And then I went back again, and all the other times I always got her. I would request it. The only time I wouldn't get her is if it was like her day off, and that was the only time I could go. But if she was around, I would always say, "I'm gonna give you Sunny." So, yeah, last year when we went to Alaska, my bride booked me. Let me check this for a second. My bride, without really asking, booked me a massage session. And, you know, I don't mind going to these things, but I feel like it's a project. You got to go down there, you got to, you know, hey, I'm here, you know, and then they look at you, and you don't know where you put your hands, you know, hold them. So then they bring you into this secret area, they give you a robe. It's like a big process, you know. I'd rather them just come to the room, do it, and go. Then I'd fall asleep and take a nice, you know, 2-3 hour nap in there. Because then you got to get ready and come back up. But anyway, so I go down there, and it was this lady from Nigeria. She says to me, you know, small talk first, you know, all the meaningless stuff, get it out of the way. And then she says to me, okay, she goes, how would you like it? Do you want it light, medium, or rough? And I said, well, since I'm here, I might as well feel the whole experience. I go, give it to me the rough way. I know it sounds funny, but that's the way she asked it. Anyway, little did I realize that the rough way hurts. Yeah, there's some pain involved in there. And I almost wanted to tell her, okay, go medium. But I said, all right, I said rough, the you know, whatever, I'm just going to stick to it now. But she was using the elbow against the edge of my thigh, the front of my thigh, the back. And at one point, I'm not even making this up, at one point, it felt like, you know when you buy chicken legs, chicken drumsticks, and you start separating it off the bone? That's what it felt like she was doing to me. Like she was separating the muscle while I'm still alive off my femur. Just, I don't know, the way she was like digging in, it felt like the bone was separating the muscle was separating off the bone. And I was gonna tell her, is that normal? Feels like you're taking the bone off of my, feels like you're taking the muscle off my bones. But I said nothing. Although, you know, it was kind of like, I wish I had a stick I could bite on, because it was intense. Now, if I ever do that again, I don't know. I may tell her to do it rough. Depends. I mean, I didn't realize she was like a bodybuilder type. Very strong arms, hands. And, yeah, I thought that she was separating muscle from bone. You know, but she did it everywhere. Like, especially my legs. My legs, she felt like, I don't know, she was doing these motions, and it felt like the muscle was peeling off. You know, like, what do they call it? Pulled pork or pulled chicken when you go to a Mexican place. It's all with the fork separated. That's what it felt like. So, yeah, I may go medium next time. I mean, I want to enjoy it too. I don't want to feel like I'm being beaten up, you know, assaulted. So she was very nice. And then another time, my bride made me an appointment, and they did it with rocks this time. They had these rocks they used on me, not to stone me, but these were like, I don't know, they put them on your back nice and warm. It was a good one. I don't remember much of these good ones because I fall asleep. It's so relaxing. You know, so relaxing. And then they cover you up like a mummy. They got all the stuff they put on you. But yeah. On my own, I don't go. I feel like it's too many steps. Many steps. Do this, do that. Turn around, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on. So best if, you know, they come to your house and you have a nice couch or something and they do the massage there, you fall asleep and then they just leave, shut the door. I don't know what we're eating for dinner tonight. Nobody knows. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go and do an investigation on what we're having for dinner. I'm not that hungry. I had chicken earlier today, and I don't feel hungry right now. But 8 o'clock comes around, I'm going to be hungry. Can't believe summer's almost here. And my daughters are almost done with school. Almost done. I don't know where the time went, but yeah, we every year we say the same thing. Oh, this year went by so fast. This was the fastest one. No, it's not the fastest. They're all fast. And my theory is that the older you get, the more the memory is full, and so the less of the year you remember. So it seems like it even goes faster each time because now you have more and more clutter. Where when you're younger, you have all this empty space in there, so you're absorbing more of the time and you remember more of the year, And so it seems like the year was huge because you remember so much of it. I mean, imagine, like that movie with Adam Sandler with the remote, and he kept going forward, all the boring moments, and then by the end of the year, it was like it flew by. Well, I think the older you get, the more full the memory is, the less you retain of reality. And so it seems like it flew by, right? Like if you had, every hour you lost your memory and you only remembered like 10 seconds, right? The hour would seem like it flew by. Like if you had no memory at all, it would be like constantly like, wow, time's flying, But if you remember every detail, like in prison, it drags on, keeps going slowly. Once it's over though, it's like it flew by. But imagine being in some situation you don't like visiting somebody's house you don't want to visit. I remember being a kid, my mother would say, I'm gonna go to whatever, I'm gonna go over her house, you're coming with me, I'm not leaving you here. I was little back then, so she had to take me. I'm talking about 3-4 years old. And then she would take you to some boring house, and you would sit there and you'd look at the clock, and it would be like, I don't know, 1 o'clock, and then it would be 1:02, but in your mind it was like half hour later. That's, the worse the situation, the slower the time. No time dilation there. I had that situation in the 8th grade. I had this teacher, very strict, very good teacher though. She knew everything about it, English grammar and all that. And I sat in the second row, second seat, and to the left of me on the wall, slightly behind me, up on the wall, there was a big clock, the only clock in the room. And I would catch myself every couple of minutes looking, like that, to the clock and back again. And to this day, I remember how slow that clock moved. How slow you look at it, prepositional phrase, and then you go, okay, a good amount of time went by on that one, and you'd look and it would be like 3 minutes later. The whole year was like that. Yeah, very, when you don't enjoy the class, it drags. And then I had other classes that I really liked, and it was before you knew it, it was over. So somehow, good times give the appearance of time going fast, and bad times give the appearance of time going slow, even though it's still 60 seconds. 60 seconds to a minute, 60 seconds, 60 minutes to an hour. Nothing changes. It's the perception changes. If I was here like I am now and somebody was torturing me, that would feel like an eternity, right? But if I'm here right now and I'm, playing Defender, and I'm enjoying myself, that hour, like I said, I was playing for an hour, would seem like minutes. Like sometimes I will watch a good show that I've been waiting for all week. For example, I love watching Alone. Not by myself, but the show Alone. And I will sit down and I go, all right, we got a full season, this is going to be awesome. Boom, 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 the show, it's done. I'm like, it's all done already? So then the next one comes. And then I'm thinking about it, I go, wow, we're already 8 shows in. And before you know it, the season's over. And I enjoy that show. And now let me give you the opposite. I hate Lord of the Ringworms, I think, whatever it's called. So my bride took me to see that one time, years ago. We went to the theater. I'm not into those kind of movies. They're not for me. I find them boring. I find the plots ridiculous. The whole thing's stupid. I don't like it. Fantasy movies, right? So my bride takes me in. We sit down, and I had no idea how long this thing was. Hour goes by, 2 hours go by, and now I'm thinking any second now, black screen. And there were black screens that would pop up, only to continue the movie. I'm like, okay, this movie is awful, I can't stand it, and it just would not end. It gave me psychological problems, how long that movie lasted, and I had to sit there. Lord of the Ringworms. Even now I think about it, I go, what an awful movie. And then Star Wars movies. Well, you know, like a new one comes out that's kind of like a branch of Star Wars. I'm like, all right, I will go for my kids and my bride, but I will not enjoy it. Matter of fact, I will try and sleep. Don't wake me up, even if I'm snoring. You know, let other people have the misery I feel through my snoring. I have to watch that. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. Awful movie, man. And imagine me sitting there watching Star Wars, eating lamb. Imagine the awful experience of that. Oh, that's a wall mount. So you put that metal thing on the wall and hang the razor. Anyway, all right. That's it for now. Capiche? Ciao.